In video E, the arm that is sticking straight out, who determined that angle, Dr. Wolf?
Yes, well, we positioned it just so it would impact in the general area of what was shown in Dr. Welcher's paint test study, which apparently is irrelevant and doesn't show the alleged position of how the arm was at impact. But yes, we positioned it in that manner.
When you say we, did you have input on the positioning of that, or did Dr. Wolf do it?
Well, I had input into how we were going to position it. It would probably be both of us, I would say.
So you and Dr. Wolf chose to position the arm straight out, correct?
In that test, we did, yes.
Is there a glass in Randy's hand?
There is not, no.
A drinking glass, no?
No.
In any of your studies, did you have a drinking glass in Randy's hand?
We did not have a drinking glass in the dummy's hand, no.
And you see when the taillight is shattering, those red things falling down. What are those?
Those are part of the taillight.
Continue a little bit, please. Stop. Did you count how many taillight pieces broke?
We didn't count the taillight pieces. We counted how many punctures or holes there were in the sweatshirt, which was 0.
If you had done this test and changed the arm angle, do you expect the damage would look different as far as the brakes in that taillight?
Well, we conducted a number of tests. It may look somewhat different, sure.
If you conducted this test and moved the arm angle, not another test, this test, but you moved the arm angle, do you expect that the brake would look different?
That the brake would look different?
Yes.
It could look a little different. I mean, certainly the brakes looked a little different in the test, but they were comparable to each other.
You do not know how John O'Keefe was standing that night, do you?
Well,
Objection.
No, I'm going to allow that.
You do not know how John O'Keefe was standing that night, do you?
if he was standing, if the impact occurred, then no, nobody knows how he would have been standing.
You would not know what his arm angle was, would you?
No.
You would not know the exact speed of any vehicle that hit him that night, would you?
Objection.
Sustained.
The debris, the broken taillight, is that traveling in a consistent or a different direction?
What do you mean consistent or
Is
different?
it all going in the same direction, or is it going in different directions?
No, there's some spread to the debris.
So the pieces don't all fall right in a pile with each other, do they?
They do not, no.
Continue, please. Stop. Do the majority of the pieces land on Randy?
No, they do not.
And so as they fall, if Randy were to fall, many of those pieces would not be among the immediate area of his body, would they?
If the dummy fell right there, no, they would not be.
Okay. Now, the dummy can't fall because the dummy is on a forklift, correct?
It's suspended like a pendulum, correct.
And you see in your test that the tail light, at what you say is 24 miles per hour, can be broken without the dummy's knees touching the vehicle. Isn't that fair to say?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. You can't tell the full movement and fall of this dummy the way you've set up this test, can you?
Well, knowing the physics, you can certainly determine or estimate where it would be, but no, you could release it and it would fall primarily straight down. It would twist and it would fall down.
Is there something that could affect the dummy if you let it fall? Is there something that could affect its movement after being hit?
Like what?
Like, could its feet be twisted and then hit another object like a curb?
Well, there's going to be very little lateral movement of its feet, but even if it did, then it's still going to fall over right where it is.
Can you continue, please? Can you see the feet, Doctor?
Yes,
Are they twisting?
they are, yes.
Is that because of the rotation of Randy after he struck?
Yeah, that's the rotation of Randy. And again, yeah, as you said, that's not a normal person because there's no normal force acting on the dummy. We just have it barely touching. So a normal individual, you aren't going to twist to that extent because this is a dummy which is suspended with just a little contact on the
And
ground.
after being contacted by a vehicle enough to break the light, could it cause a person to stagger backwards?
I mean, you're making some suppositions here. There's no evidence that that would occur in this case, and not if you're spinning like that. You're not going to stagger backwards. First, you're going to spin if you get hit with your arm, as I described in my direct. But is it possible? I can't say it's impossible, but there's no evidence of that.
Could a person stumble backwards after being hit?
I'm going to allow that.
What do you mean by backwards? Because you'd be spinning. So what direction is backwards?
Could a person get their foot caught on a curb, and sneaker come off, and then stagger backwards and fall on their head?
Objection, Your Honor. Yeah, let's go.
I'm going to allow that.
Doctor?
Can you answer that?
I mean, I guess you could somehow predict or have a possibility of almost anything happening. You could say someone could get hit by a car and do a couple of somersaults into the yard. I mean, there's no evidence of that, so it's just supposition, but I won't say it's impossible.
Do you think John O'Keefe did somersaults into the front yard of 34 Fairview? Is that what you're telling us, Doctor?
No, I don't think he even got hit by the car, sir.
That's not what I'm asking. I've heard that. I'm asking you
Yeah.
if he did somersaults into the front yard.
No, there's no evidence of what he did.
Your Honor, to come sidebar quickly before I start.
Okay. Oops.
Did you see this photograph, sir?
I did, yes.
And do you see the cut on Mr. O'Keefe's nose, the left side of his nostril?
I do.
In your analysis of whether there was a collision with the defendant's Lexus, did you consider or know that there was evidence that a piece of glass or a piece of broken plastic was pulled from Mr. O'Keefe's nose?
Objection.
I'm going to allow that.
That was a formal question.
I'm going to allow that.
Your Honor.
So, hold on.
Sure.
Let's get an answer, Dr. Mitchell. Your objection's noted, Mr. Jackson.
I was aware there was some piece of material allegedly pulled from the nose, yes.
Allegedly pulled from the nose?
Yes.
Okay. And that alleged piece of material, were you aware that it was perhaps a piece of glass or broken plastic?
Objection.
Are you aware of that?
Your Honor, that's not the evidence. That is not the evidence.
So,
Glass? Not
hold on, Mr. Jackson. Mr. Brennan.
I can
do you have a
reword
quick-
it.
Okay.
Please.
You're welcome. Are you aware of that object that was pulled from Mr. O'Keefe's nose? What material that was?
I believe it was glass.
Did you want to know in your assessment about collision where that came from?
Well, I did evaluate that, and it's actually entirely inconsistent with coming from an impact with the vehicle.
Can we have Exhibit 52A, please? Do you know what that is, Doctor?
It's hard for me to see from here. I believe that's the drinking glass.
A drinking glass. Do you
Yeah.
know where that is in relation to where Mr. O'Keefe was found?
I believe it was found in the vicinity of where he was found.
And could I have Exhibit 195, please? You recognize that?
That is another photograph of the drinking glass, yes, sir.
197A, please. B. C. D. And in your assessment, did you know that a piece of glass that fit the broken drinking glass was found in the street area in front of 34 Fairview Road?
Yes, sir.
98, please. A little more, please. Do you know what that is, sir?
It's hard for me to tell from
Does it
back.
look like a drinking straw?
Okay, the black, that does appear to be a drinking straw, yes.
Have you seen that before?
I've seen that photograph before.
Okay. And do you appreciate that is in front of 34 Fairview Road?
Yes, I believe that's correct.
And sir, in your analysis, in your reconstruction analysis, did you consider the broken glass found near Mr. O'Keefe's body, the suggestion glass is found in his nose, and that glass that fit the broken glass was found on the street? Did you consider all those things in your reconstruction analysis?
Well, my biomechanical analysis, I did consider especially the glass in the nose, yes, and whether that could have been as a result of the impact.
A result of what?
A result of the impact with the vehicle.
When did you find out about the glass from Mr. O'Keefe's nose? When did you learn that?
I don't recall specifically.
Well, was it before you came and testified last time, or was it before this time?
I honestly, I couldn't tell you. I know it was before this time. I don't know when I found out about it.
Weeks ago, months ago? Could you turn the lights on, please?
I have no idea, sir.
You don't know if it was weeks or month ago?
I don't remember with that specific piece of evidence when I found out about it.
What do you mean you don't remember it? Have you seen it before?
While I evaluated certainly for my report for this case, I don't know if I had known about it prior to that.
Is it mentioned anywhere in your report about the piece of glass in Mr. O'Keefe's nose?
No, it's not.
When you received that information, did someone tell you about it? Did you listen? Did you watch? How did you evaluate this evidence?
It might have been in an interview or something that it was pulled from his nose, I believe.
Okay. So you saw and listened to something?
I believe so, or was made aware of it.
Okay. Just a couple more questions, sir. I had asked you at the beginning of your examination whether you denied that receiving information certainly helped prepare to understand what was going on during the trial. Do you remember those questions?
With respect to the trace DNA, correct?
Okay. May I approach?
Yes.
April 20th, 2025. Page 124, line 16. Yes. 124, line 16. May I approach?
Yes.
You've testified a few times under oath in this case, haven't you?
I have, yes, sir.
And you've testified recently for a short bit in April, didn't you?
I did, yes.
On April 28, 2025, did you testify in this very courtroom
I believe I did.
under oath,
Yes, sir.
like the oath you took today?
Yes, or yesterday.
Now, when I read this, I'm not attributing this in any way to the defendant's attorneys. I'm going to read you this just for clarity. You were asked, did they inform you about witness testimony? And what did you say, sir?
They did inform me, yes, about testimony in situations and events that came forth in the trial that I was not aware of.
Those are your words?
Yes, sir.
Page 125, line 7. I'm going to ask you if this is your sworn testimony, sir. On page 125, line 7, I'll read the question, and if this is your answer, you should read the answer. Were you asked, and by calling and raising issues and telling you information, even if you weren't requesting it, it helped prepare you for for your trial testimony, didn't it? What did you swear?
I said it certainly helped prepare me to understand what was going on during the trial, yes.
I have no further questions.
All right, Mr. Jackson.